Hi, I'm Lars. Welcome back to my workshop. Today we're gonna do a little quick thing on how do you replace a light switch. So before you go and pull out a light switch or any type of outlet, you need to make sure your power is off. Now, a lot of people might think that, you can go in here and check this outlet. You push this in. I don't know if you can see that, but there's two amber lights that are on, or orange lights. These are pretty easy to tell. You can just, plug something into it. Highly recommend every homeowner owns one of these. But when you get to a light switch, if your light is blown, you can't really say that lights, there's no power. If the light's on, if you have a good light, you have power. So if you're replacing a light switch just because you think you don't, the light switch went bad, you might have a breaker that's off, you might have a bad light bulb. Most times when you're replacing these, you don't have the ability to see that this light switch is hooked up to power off of this outlet. So that's kind of a little hard to do, right? So to determine if there's electricity in this, the only thing you can do is you need to take off the plate. Which reminds me, you're going to need two screwdrivers, one medium, one small. The small one's to get the plate off. You're going to need a Phillips head screwdriver, or you're going to need some sort of a power drill with a bit that's a Phillips head. You might need a wire nut, but if you're just replacing it, you shouldn't need anything else but these couple tools here. So pretty much these three things, and you need something to test the electrical to make sure it's off. Because the last thing you want to do is touch this and get shocked. So let's start cracking this thing open. I'm going to zoom in on this because I know nobody really cares to look at me. They want to see what's going on. So let's get this off of here. All right, so you need some sort of a wire tester, something like this. Okay, it has two little leads on it, and it has a little LED up here at the top. So if you go in and you touch on this side, there's a screw on the back and the ground. You're going to see this thing light up. I'm going to switch angles on this. So once you get the plate off, you're going to see two wires, two screws on the side. There's a ground screw on this side. I don't think you can see in the video. And then in the back you should see one of these caps. A cap like this, and underneath that's going to be two white wires. So right now you can't tell if there's any electricity running. Alright? So I haven't turned the electric off for this little unit here. So this is where these come in very handy. You have two leads and you have something here, it's an orange light. So if you touch this on the ground and you touch the bottom of this, you're going to see the orange light light up. Alright? If you touch the top, nothing should light up. If there is no power connected and you touch both of these like this, there should be no power, no LED lighting up at all. Okay, you should see no orange light up here, but we do, so we know we have electricity. To test the switch, if electricity's on, you're seeing it on the bottom or on the top, flip the switch up, and the one that you weren't seeing it on before will have it. So if like this here has electricity, turn the switch down, there is no more electricity. That completes the circuit going to your light. Alright, so now I need to go and unplug this system or undo my circuit breaker, and it may take you a couple minutes to go and find out what circuit breaker that you had to hit to disconnect. This usually helps if you have two people so that one person can keep checking this and saying, yeah, we're clear, we're good, or no, it's still on, and whatnot. So once the electric's off, you can take your screwdriver, your Phillips head, and you can unscrew the switch. Okay, so pull your switch out and turn it over like this, and now you'll see your white wires back here I was talking about. You do not need to do anything with those. That's just continuing that white wire through the circuit. So now grab your bigger screwdriver, your bigger flathead, and you can unscrew these screws. Like this. And then wiggle these off and put the one that was on the left to the left. And sometimes these are a little tight in here, so you might need to take a screwdriver and bend that back a little bit. And take the screw out further sometimes. Okay. These can be a little tight. So keep those apart, flip this over, and take out off the ground wire. Like that. Now you got your switch. So now we get a different switch, you know, one that works, and we put this one back in. Now, like the other one, this one has a little hole in it, so I'm going to put that little hole back in there, get that in the hole, and I'm going to turn this around so that this gets wrapped around clockwise. If you're looking at it, it's going clockwise, or it might be screw-wise, now, I don't know, but it's hardly anyone looks at a analog clock anymore. And flip this back around, put your wire back on, tighten it down, and make sure that wire stays under the screw like that. Alright, you want to make sure it's in there. Take the other wire. If you are having problems moving these wires, grab a pair of pliers and just bend them over where you need them to be, like this. And then you can pull that over to that wire, to that screw, and then tighten it down. And then take the wires, if you're having a hard time getting them in, you can twist them a little bit, like this. Just make sure that your switch goes back in. If it has off on it, that off is being able to be seen, because your switch should be off at this point. And then push this back in a little bit, and then you'll get your screws in. Now you can put these back in with a screwdriver, but if you have a bit and an impact, or just a drill in general, or a motorized screwdriver, this is a lot faster and a lot easier on your wrist. Once you get them tight in there, snug, then you can finish tightening them up. And make sure they're in tight, and make sure that these are straight. You may need to loosen them up a little bit and kind of push them with your screwdriver a little bit. Otherwise they'll look kind of weird on your wall. Cover them back up. Put the cover back on. Okay. Now, go turn your circuit breaker back on, or just apply electric back, and make sure that this is working. Let me put the light bulb back in. So you might be switching out a light switch because it is not working right. It's shorting. You're getting a zap off it every time that you touch it, or you just might want to convert them to another color or something to that effect. But once you get them back together, you're all good to go. So thanks for watching the video. If you like it, please click like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time in the workshop.